Hope my sound is clear and audible. And appreciate if anybody has access other than the co-host to mute themselves. Well, this is our second webinar, and the purpose of this webinar is to assist and help off-road enthusiasts for being better equipped with the highest quality products and knowledge. Our presentation might take some time. I can't promise you that it can end in 20 minutes. Like our previous experience, it might go higher or lower depending on the discussion. The first part will be introduction of 4x4Gulf, and then I'll hand over to Ravon Auto for their introduction. We'll have the question and answer session in the end of the presentation. But if you guys have any questions, please type them on the chat box. We would also like to encourage people to come ahead and speak if they want to. But if you don't want to speak, you can raise your hands and or you can type your questions and we can answer them in the end. We are looking at special discounts for those who is participating in the webinar. So don't exit now because your email ID and name will be taken, and you will have a special discount on a lot of products from TJM, from Ravon Auto. So please stay tuned until end of the session. All right, guys, let's begin. The same thing, we will do an introduction about 4x4 Gulf, but I don't want to start an introduction without telling a story. Yeah. So today's story is that a sales guy tried to sell a gun to a king, and a king who is fighting a battle with a sword. But the king is too busy and don't have time to understand what he wants to show. If the king would have listened to the sales guy by getting the gun, he would have won the battle. Well, the moral of the story is that, guys, we need time to educate you about different products that can match your expectations. Like the off-road modes for the exact type of terrain, whether you are driving on sand or rocks, whether you would like to off-road as a hobby or if it is going to be for racing, etc. Let me introduce you quickly before I start my next presentation to Alan and team. Please come to the mic and introduce yourself before I start my next session, please, Alan.
Hi, my name is Alan.
Good morning. I'm Alan.
Okay, so we will have a session after this where they will be introducing about their products. Okay, now introducing about 4x4Gulf. I'm the founder of the group. My name is Samir Ali. I've been off-roading since a long time. I work as senior business development manager in a different company, Iron Mountain. And we are nothing, again, without our co-partners, which I want to introduce them to you. And our co-partners are Jameen George, Zaid, Zoeb, Rahul, Naju, Maman, and Matthews. I want to tell you something. I would like to stress a few points here. None of our business partners work in any garages, nor they have any connection with any off-road brands. So we are a group of off-road enthusiasts. It's our passion, and our current goal is to help off-roaders to make the right decision and to guide them. Yeah. So it makes us in a stage where we give you genuine opinion. We are not trying to persuade you to a certain product. What we are here is to help you guys. Next, we have definitely our support staff. And our support staff might not be associated with products, but mostly here we don't have any of them associated with any products. I'm not sure in future we'll have or not, but we have our support team, which is Chaco, Dinesh, Pradeep, Salman, Ahmed, Saj, and we welcome Shimoli, which is a new female add-up into our group, and we are very proud to have females in our group, and we encourage a lot of females to be part of off-roading as well. Yeah. So the same thing that I'm repeating last presentation that I had, so that I want people to be aware of what 4x4 Gulf is all about. 4x4 Gulf was established in July 1st, 2019. So why we have started the group? After going through a lot of off-roading, we notice many of us don't get right advice. That's a point. Or we get confused with making right decisions, such as the upgrade that I should have in my car, the right garages that I have to go, and many of us end up buying the wrong products with some kind of wrong advices and end up paying more for products that you don't want. So why 4x4 Gulf? We wish to help off-roaders as well as overlanders with the following: by providing a platform where all off-roaders meet together, getting the right advice for any upgrades, getting the right supplies, product reviews, review on the best garages. We will soon have all the garages that we trust will be listed in our website, and you can close your eyes and visit these garages because we have done a review about them. And warning our members on wrong decisions and duplicate products. We warn you about duplicate products because we don't want you to stop in the road. Yeah. It's a platform for the off-road enthusiasts to come together, buy and sell their products as well. The website is still going on. It will take some time. And the same thing, if you're stuck somewhere while doing off-roading anywhere in the desert in UAE, and if you have people there, you can always use our chat platform to get a help on that. We engage in discussion with suppliers like TJM, Dobinsons, and so many other suppliers, and then we get you the best price for all the products that we can. Yeah. Then we have our future, which we are looking our future. The same thing that I explained, will be your one-stop hub for all your off-road requirements. We are setting up a website which only focus on 4x4 vehicles. You can buy or sell vehicles. You can sell your suspension, whatever products you want. The supplier can promote their products with special offers. Garages can promote their services, products. Finally, you can meet a lot of friends. That's what it's a friends off-roading network. We will also be providing off-road insurance coverage in the future. We'll also be providing rent-a-car services in the future, where as an off-roader, you have to do maintenance in a certain particular garage, and we send you the vehicle. When it is ready, you can take back your 4x4 vehicle. We also will be providing recovery service in the future, which will, if you're stuck in anywhere in the desert, we should be able to help you out. And speaking about more, please go to our channel, Sami Cocktail or 4x4 Gulf. You can search them on YouTube. We have a lot of things listed in YouTube. We have some tips and tricks and some drives as well, which might help you. So the website is www.4x4gulf.com. We are on Twitter. We are also on on the other platforms. So now I wish to hand over to one of the best suppliers, reliable, who deals with from Ravon Auto, Alan, who specializes in off-road products and services. My vehicle is currently equipped with the TJM air compressor and springs. It's very reliable product and quite happy with that. Alan, can you come on the stage? The stage is all yours from here.
Hello.
Yes, Alan. Yes,
hope you got a good drive yesterday. And
yes.
I'm here to introduce Ravon Auto. That we have a presence since 2011. We deals with armoring. We are suppliers of armoring customers, and also we are the suppliers of off-roading customers, and we also deal with 6x6 conversions. And we are the exclusive stockist of TJM, IBAC, Hutchinson, alliedwheels, Wales, and also carbon wind, and also mean weather. These are the all brands we have. And let me introduce my colleague. This is Adil. Hi, good morning.
Welcome, Adil. Good morning.
This webinar, we have planned a question answer session, with the expert. So I will be asking some questions about
Sure, not an issue. Yeah.
all offroading needs to him. So, for further ado, we'll be starting with the question. So, let me ask.
So it's a good idea, guys, where we will start directly with the questions. If you have any interesting topic about off-roading, if you have any questions about recovery gears, you are free to ask. So let's ask by question. Before the question, let me push a poll from our end. Let me just stop sharing this, please. So you have your screen in front of you. The first poll, Angia, if you can push the first poll, please. Yes. So first poll is, are you equipped with a heavy duty compressor in your 4x4 vehicle? Yes, no, looking for one, contact me. I'll be happy to explore. I guess, Alan, you can see the poll as well?
Yeah. Yes, we have.
Let's wait for a few seconds and see what's the final answer. Few more seconds to go. Ten seconds more. Okay, I'm ending the poll here. So, yes, what you can see is 57%. Of course, guys, we are doing off-roading. So 57% has a compressor, but 29% don't have the compressor, and 7% is looking for the compressor. And contact me, I'll be happy to explore. Now, for those guys who says contact me, I would like to explore. Appreciate if you can put your email and /compressor. Yeah, your email /compressor. So the Ravon Auto guys can come back to you on that. Okay. So let's stop the polls. Yes. Next will be question and answer session. Let's see who is here for questions. First, I'll look into this. Okay. Atul Shinoy has a question. I'm a newbie. I have a stock Ram 1500, which is the model. The first thing I did was got a rear tow hook installed, which is very important, by the way. You need to install your tow hooks because if you get stuck in any angle, we need to recover you. What would your advice be in terms of step-by-step modification next? Please remember, my truck is also a daily driver. So this is the important thing. The customer need to use his truck as a daily driver, as well as he needs to do off-roading, which means he doesn't want to do a crazy off-roading, but he wants to have a truck which will have a fuel mileage. He can do both. So I'll ask this question to the Ravon Auto guys. Guys, you are free to answer.
Yeah, well, actually, it's a good question. Generally, what happens is when they start, for example, upgrading, everybody focuses on suspensions, tires, before going. Can you guys hear us, or is it
there is a background noise, guys? Can you be clear on the mic? Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, now can you hear us properly?
Yes. Yeah, fine.
Okay, fine. So basically, everybody, what they say is they have to upgrade suspensions, tires, etc. before they move on to stuff. But I would suggest if he's a newbie and he's using for daily drivers, one of the main equipments is if you get stuck in desert, which you do always. What is your game plan? What is your goal? How do you get out? For example, from starting, you enter to desert, your deflation point. What kind of deflators are you having? What kind of pressures are you setting according to the tires you have? For example, according to your wheels and your tires, some tires are softer than others.
For example, VF Goodrich is a very hard tire compared to an OEM tire. So the pressure settings on that will be different. So you need a good deflator with a gauge to understand which pressure you're going to keep. Because tire pressure itself will be a major factor in how you negotiate terrains. Then comes into, in case you get stuck, even without tire pressures, you get stuck. How are you going to recover it? Do you need straps? Do you need recovery shackles? Since he already has a recovery point, does he have a recovery point in rear or only in front? How, for example, if you get stuck in side sloping, for example, white side sweeping, how are you going to recover from the back? Many people I saw, they have a recovery hitch in back, basically, and then they use that for recovery. But that itself is not a good option, because you need to have actual recovery point in back. If you just recover with the toe ball itself, sometimes it slips and it can hurt the windshield of the car. So these are the options which I will suggest for him to go before investing heavily into a car to modify it, and maybe he doesn't like in daily driving. But these are small stuff which will always help him and also others in the group, because we have to see when we are buying stuff, we are also buying for others. Then the second option, when he's going, once the stage is completed, second stage will be always tires. See if you can buy good brand tires, if you can get, a little bit larger tires, not too much, but a bit more wider and a bit more taller tire will give you more ground clearance, it will give you more traction. And of course, sometimes to put the tires in, you need a lift. And I will not suggest him to buy a full suspension kit from start away. You can go with coil spacers and small spacers just to start baby steps,
Yes.
rather than anything heavy.
Yeah. I have Siddharth who has raised hand since long time. Let me allow him to talk.
Yes.
Siddharth, can you hear me? Unmute. Siddharth?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, Siddharth, go ahead. What's your question, please?
It's not pertaining to anything off-roading. I want to know more about you, Samir Ali. Who are you and who is Gulf 4x4?
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll answer your question. Yeah,
because
thanks, Siddharth.
to me, it's very nice to see this method of reaching out to people and everything. It's different and it's in line with the current situation of the restrictions that we have. So it's nice to see that. It's very innovative, I must say. But
thanks, Siddharth.
And you had listed previously, initially, that you were going to do various things with trying to be selective on reliable quality suppliers.
Exactly,
but,
Siddharth.
but as you know, we have a lot of clubs here already who have a lot of experienced people within those clubs as well. So how are you going to be able to, attract those people who are trusting those clubs and been with them? And, forgive me, but you seem to me a newbie in the.
I agree. I understand, Siddharth, your question. Let me just clarify. There's a misunderstanding that you understood. Siddharth, first of all, we are not focused on mainly into club drives. Yeah. As I mentioned to you, 4x4Gulf is a platform where you can see. We are not against any clubs. All the clubs are there, free to have anything. But what we're trying to do is we are mixing up a lot of clubs. We are allowing people to meet each other. So our main aim is not into creating a club and making the drives and be with that. We encourage people to join any clubs. We don't have limitations on any clubs. The main platform is helping to find the right suppliers. That's it. We have product reviews. We will do buying and helping a platform to buy and sell your products, only 4x4 vehicles, something like that. That's it. I mean, we are not focused into making club drives. Though we have, there's a mixed people who wants to have drives. We say, okay, you can go ahead with the drives, but that is not our main focus. Yeah. Hope that answers your question.
Okay, so all right.
Yeah. So
you had done something similar last week or some with Dobinsons, or
yes, we have done already a presentation with Dobinsons. Were you there for the last
I was there briefly. Unfortunately, I had to leave.
Okay.
As a side note, this I feel is better because the Dobinsons, I think, was a bit between you and Dobinsons, and everybody was just listening. This is a lot more, it
Thank
feels
you very
like
much for that.
I'm visiting the, I'm speaking to somebody, which is better. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Thank you very much for participating, and you have special offers, which is your right to ask Ravon Auto. That is the reason of this webinar. So please do contact them for a lot of offerings. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
Samir, I'll be asking questions. I'll be starting asking questions for him.
Yeah.
Okay. What are things we need for a proper recovery?
Yeah. Now that's a good question. So what do you need for a proper recovery kit? Generally, from my perspective, it depends on what kind of driving you're gonna do. But for a starter, for example, we'll focus more on starter vehicles because advanced people will already be knowing what they want. But a starting recovery kit, it generally comprises of a deflator, a good tire gauge, a compressor, and recovery strap. Basically, yeah, we'll have in future we'll have more discussion on what kind of ropes you need to use. But a snatch strap, 1 or 2 D-shackles, 1 or 2 soft shackles, a deflator, and a compressor is all that you need for a basic recovery kit. Because with these products, you can inflate your tires to any pressure you require. Some dunes require 8 psi to climb, some require 14 to climb, some require maybe 15 to avoid pop-out, depending on sand conditions. And if you have a good rope, D-shackles and soft shackles. Why D-shackles and soft shackle is? Soft shackle allows you to wrap around your chassis or axle in case you have some kind of major catastrophe or you don't have any recovery points. D-shackles are there in cases where the points are so small that soft shackle does not go in. So having a mix of 1 D-shackle and 1 soft shackle is always nice. And 1 strap, 1 compressor, 1 deflator. This is the basic kit you can have, which is not too costly. If you have good quality gear, it's very nice to have in car because it will serve you 5-6 years easily without breaking.
That's really a good advice. I think there is a question for you guys.
Yeah, sure.
Asking about the type of recovery kits. So there he asked about, it's anonymous, I think that's not name here. He asked about the kinetic rope and the strap rope. So could you explain more about it, please?
Yeah. Now, main 2 types of recovery straps are there, which I have few samples with me. So this is called basically kind of a strap. It's a TKM recovery strap. It is called. It is basically flat and it has a nylon webbing. And then this is everybody will be knowing this is called a kinetic rope. Now, how it starts is basically strap was the main starting point when recovery was new and all over the world. Snatch straps were used. Now, snatch straps and kinetic recovery works in similar conditions. Basically, they stretch out when you are trying to pull a car. Many people, what they focus on is when they go to Dragon Mart or they go to Sandera or etc. They buy tow recovery for these guns. That's why this got a bad name. They buy a tow rope which looks almost same, or they buy a lifting strap. Now that is similar in design, but it does not stretch. For example, when you're pulling with the weight of the car, this stretches to 25%. The TDM snatch strap stretches to 25%. And what that allows is when you're recovering a car from 2 ways. So rather than putting your chassis and your axles under load, the strap itself stretches a bit, and the internal friction itself allows the car to pull out from a stuck stand position. And kinetic ropes work in similar way. Just kinetic ropes has 30% stretch. That is, it stretches a bit more, and it has a bit more impact in recovery ropes. From my perspective, when you are starting to buy a recovery kit, I will suggest always understand the weight of your car. For example, a Dodge Ram weighs 2,700 kilos, a FJ Cruiser weighs 2,000 kilos, and a Land Cruiser weighs 2,400 kilos. So when you're recovering 2 vehicles, for example, a vehicle, FJ Cruiser recovering a Dodge Ram, the combined weight is around 4.7 to 5 tons when you consider. So when you're buying something, when they buy kinetic recovery ropes, and many times I've seen suppliers, what they say is that, it can take 12 tons, it can take 14 tons. When you consider that all combined forces of your car is going to be 5 tons plus a little bit momentum, Having a
Okay.
14-ton rope won't allow it to stretch more. So basically, you are actually buying redundant ropes which are not allowing it to do their own job. For example, 2 torch ramps pulling together or 2 F-150s pulling very high speed, yes, then they can require 12 tons or 14 tons. But what I have seen in newbie drives and intermediate drives is you don't need that much force to actually pull a stuck vehicle out. Because on walkie-talkie itself, we say, hey, you're stuck, stop digging yourself and we'll pull you out, right?
Yes.
So basically
Correct.
for that, it's much cheaper and much better to go with a 8-ton snatch strap, because that will allow actually for it to do its job. There is no point in having a bigger is better mentality in this snatch
Yeah.
strap.
In my opinion, you need to have both for both purposes. You need to have.
No. Both is too much, because generally what I suggest is in a group where, for example, the heavier cars, the very heavy
Yeah.
cars,
Okay.
which, for example, F-150 Raptors with double cabs, etc., they can have a kinetic rope. And the lighter cars, the FJ Cruisers, the short wheelbase Nissan Metros, they can have a snatch strap. So
Perfect.
this is a good combination when we are in a social kind of a group combination. Few guys keep kinetic ropes, few guys keep snatch straps, and according to your vehicle's weight.
Perfect. So we have another question from Rahul. I've been off-roading for a while. I came across TJ Pace. Looks interesting. Would like to know more about it. And he also speaks about the lift. What is the maximum lift that we can have?
No, that's a good question. TJM Pace is actually a new suspension offering from TJM. That's the newest shock absorbers apart from the twin tube range which we had. So TJM Pace is a reservoir suspension with adjustable capability. That is, it has 64 state of adjustments inside. And one area where it differs from entire competition is it has an internal hydraulic pump stop. That is, you can see maybe in desert race cars and even in Dubai also normal cars, what they pitch is they ask you to buy a hydraulic pump stop separately. But what TGM has decided is they have constructed such kind of shock absorber which has an internal hydraulic pump stop inside, that when you take jumps or when you go crashing into dunes at high speeds, the shock absorber has at the end of the stage has a pump stop inside which is hydraulic. So it doesn't allow your axle to crash into your stock pump stops and bend it or break it. It has a nice softer stage inside it, and you can adjust. For example, on road, many people complain that fuel suspension is too stiff. So you can actually get down and adjust it to soft settings in compression and a little bit harder in rebound. So you get softer suspension on road. But when you go into desert, you can't have a too soft suspension, because then it will start colliding with your axle pump stops and it starts hitting the front nose in the tunes. So that time you need good high compression. So this TGM Pace shock absorber allows 64 adjustments. That is basically buying one suspension kit itself. You can actually have the combined advantages of many shock absorbers. According to your terrain, according to use, you can adjust it and you can change it. And since it's a reservoir monotube shock absorber, it has higher oil volume capacity, etc. So you can see that you have shared our website. In this website, you can see there are many options and many products according to your skill level. But TJM Pace for right now, we have developed for Nissan Petrol Y61 or Land Cruiser 200 series for Hiluxes and Land Cruiser 70 series. More are coming into it, especially FJ Cruiser, etc. We are developing, and right now it's going into R&D testing.
Yes. Let me be fair with the people who are listening. So I don't know if you can see this. The questions also have pasted it here. You're not able to see on the screen. The questions coming from the panelists, you're not able to see, right?
No.
Okay. I don't know why it is, but okay. So I have questions directed to me separately. Siddharth Patel has raised their hands again. Siddharth, you want to speak again, or did you forget to? Can you type in, please? So let's see. Okay. So, okay. Before that, let me answer these questions which we have. I'm not sure if you can see this. Kiko questions would like to ask about unique products for Jeep that's not sold elsewhere. I mean, that's like a That's like a question. I don't know. You are asking something unique. So do you have anything like this, guys? Would you like to ask about unique products for Jeep that's not
Jeep,
sold elsewhere?
Jeep is a very popular car, but if you want unique products, then we have kind of suction cup flag mounts, which are generally not sold elsewhere because it's made in USA and it is tested to 150 km per hour. And then we have Light Force brand lights, which are small lights, but they're very high power. You can compare it to Rigid, etc. And then we do a lot of custom procurement. That is basically if you come up to me and you show me some parts which you saw in US or Australia or Europe, what we have is we have shipments coming from them always, so we can procure for you. For example, you have a certain part which you are interested in, but you cannot get it from outside. Rather than risking your money going to outer states, you can ask me to bring it, and I will bring it for you. Of course, advance, etc. We have to discuss that later stage. But we do a lot of custom procurement for people with, generally what they do is they show us a website and they show a product they want. And we bring it for them and we install it. We have a garage in Alcocer and we install for them the same product and maintaining the manufacturer's warranty and sure your money risk is low because you're paying to a Dubai shop rather than US.
Yes. So the next question comes from Ahmed El Megdi, I guess. Hello, I want to ask about your compressor. How does it compare in terms of quality with other brands?
Yep, that's a really good question. Generally, we have, according to vehicle tires needs and your vehicle needs, we have 3 compressors with us. So 2 are from TJM and 1 is from Mean Mother. All of them have 5 years warranty. For example, the TJM is the lowest spec one basically, which is the cheapest also. It is 5-year warranty and it has 72 liters per minute. It's a really good compressor. For example, from 14 psi to 35 psi, it takes around 5 minutes per tire, the TJM one. And then you have, if you need something which is higher output and you have a little budget for it, then we have Mean Mother, which is similar, portable one with a wireless remote. So you don't
I like the concept of having that wireless remote because I think we guys get lazy when we use a compressor. What I used to do, yes, there are people with the tank and the filling, but I used to, fill in, check the time, and then fill the compressor. So maybe the remote might make it easy for some of our guys to work. Yeah, I mean, I like that concept. And it is around 160 liter per minute, I guess, which is okay. I mean, on an average, I guess 6 minutes for 4 tires. But better than
for one tire from let's say 14 psi to 35 psi, it takes around 2 to 2.5 minutes. So let's say for one car from 14 psi to 35 psi without going need to go to petrol pump, etc. In desert itself, you can fill in 10 minutes flat. And since it has 5-year warranty, for example, you have any other components in your products, you can change it full replacement. And it's wireless, so you don't have to bend down. It comes with a gauge. And the main issue with I have the portable compressors which are sold in Dubai is when you go to remove the pipe from the compressor, generally those are exposed, so they become very hot and they burn your hands. But the Mean Mother one has actually a rubber reinforcing inside it, so it's not hot enough. You can actually hold with your own hands and you can.
Oh, that's a nice thing.
With remote batteries and everything.
I guess this can be fixed with the cars. Like we would like to fix it like that.
That's what I'm asking. Like, do we can fix that compressor inside our car?
Yeah, we can fix that compressor inside our car, but we would like to do it ourselves because there is few. Since it is a wireless remote one, there's a receiver, there is everything in the compressor. So you can fix it in car if you don't want to carry it around. You can do it as no issue, but it would be better if you go through us. Since warranties would be from us. In case you want the true vehicle mount compressor, we have something from TJM also. That's 100% recycled compressor basically, and you can mount it in a hidden way in compressor always. It has a fan inside it, and then you can have switches on dashboards which are connected. And that's much easy. If you want a vehicle mount compressor, it's much easier to go with TJM vehicle mount rather than trying to fix a portable or converting it to vehicle mount.
So you guys customize the vehicle mounts depending on the type of vehicles they have?
Yeah, we generally fabricate our own custom bracket. It takes 2 to 3 days generally, but according to location and according to vehicle, we do a custom bolt-on brackets. We don't weld. We don't weld it anything. We do a bolt-on conversion kit, which is easy to remove in case in future you want to sell the car.
Okay, so there is another question for you from a person. My Jeep is already with 2.5-inch lift kit and 2.5-inch suspension. If I want extra 1.5 body lift spacer, I need to change or enforce something else, or I'm good to go with any changes? Question.
Well, if you already have a 2.5-inch lift and then you need 1.5-inch body lifting, I need to know, why do you want to do this? Do you want to put bigger tires which are interfering with your body, or how is it? Because if you're going too big of a tire, you have to understand your axle shafts from Jeep has a limit. The Jeep axles which come from stock itself are, it's not too strong itself. And when you put 40-inch tires or you put 37-inch tires, there's a very high risk of snapping the axles from the side. So rather than lifting your car too much, because when you're in desert, you have to be careful about rolling over and etc. A 3-inch lift is more than enough. But I need to know, what use do you want? Do you want to put a bigger tire, or how is it?
Yeah, that's good. There's a background noise coming in. I'm not sure if it is from me or. Okay, there's one more question regarding the off-road lights. Any off-road lights you supply with RGB lights? So this customer, he wants to decorate his car, and he needs to. I think I have seen it in one of the brands. I don't remember the name. I think you guys supply it.
I'm sorry, Samir. Can you once more ask that, because I could not hear it properly?
So the client is asking if you had the off-road lights. I'm not sure if he's asking about the light bar or the normal lights, but he wants an off-road lights that can be changed, like an RGB lights, where you can change the color, like you can make it black, white, orange, gray, whatever color. RGB, you can change the color.
We have actually a small light pod, the 3-inch kind, square kind light pod, which comes with a remote. You can change white color, red color, blue, green.
Do you also have an application-driven products that can be changed by a mobile app?
Yeah. It's actually, you can connect through Bluetooth with a supplier's application, which you can control.
Yeah. I believe you also sell Auxbeam product. I've been using it. I've connected it from your facility there, and I'm quite happy with the Auxbeam that I have. I think I have seen Auxbeam has a similar RGB lights, which can change the color.
Yeah, we actually supply Auxbeam products. We stock them. So the RGB one which I was discussing comes from Auxbeam. It's a 1-year warranty product, which is pretty decent. You won't get too much light output compared to rigid, etc. But for the price which you're paying, the quality is really good, and it is long lasting. And it has many various options according to your car. For example, which designs you want, how do you want it, and you can fix it quite easily. And we have pretty good stock for Auxbeam.
Okay, now the next question is again, do you supply throttle spacers? Any advantages? Also, will it affect the warranty with the agency?
This will be my personal bias opinion, but I feel that throttle spacers don't do anything in a car, because I'm sorry, I know that this is something which I don't sell, and I don't sell it because personally I don't believe in something which you cannot gain power without tuning your car. You cannot gain power without adding proper intake, proper exhaust, and proper ECUD mapping. Just putting a throttle spacer just gives a little bit gap, and they say that it gives more turbulence and your air and fuel mixture. But I am an automobile engineer basically, and I know that the combustion chamber in an engine itself is designed with turbulence in mind, with twists of air in mind, and you have oxygen sensors in your car, you have mass airflow sensors in your car. You don't need a throttle spacer to boost your car. Maximum you'll gain 1 or 2 psi, and 1 or 2 psi, you'll gain 1 or 2 HP. They claim you get maybe 2 or 3% more power.
I think the safe upgrade, well, you said, I think snorkel would be a nice upgrade if people wants to have the stock in airbox. But snorkel will be a very nice upgrade, I guess. It makes a good difference of getting in colder air from the top, then getting it down, and then it won't be dusty and all that things. So I guess you guys also have good offers on snorkels.
Yeah, we have good offers on snorkels, and most important part about snorkel is it acts like a cold air intake. Basically, it removes your airbox intake location from engine bay, and it drives it to the outside of the car. And it's a little bit higher. It sits much higher than stock intake. So basically, when we go into dunes and when we go to climb dunes, all the dust, all the small sand grains, they all come into airbox. But if you keep your air intake higher, you get much colder air and you get much cleaner air. So your airbox is not blocked up, and you gain power, little bit power compared to normal.
Like some of the guys asking me the question is like, we have a passing problem if you install a software.
No, as far as I know, till now I never had that problem. Till now we had no clients coming and saying that RTS not possible. We have snorkels for a lot of vehicles in stock.
So guys, that's a good advice. The first basic upgrade which is very good for your engine, I guess, is to fix a snorkel. If you don't want to do a lot of other things, then snorkel is a very good option that you should, I think, a must-have thing for your car to allow your car to have a fresh breath and to get colder air from that location. So Santosh Matthews asked a question. I'm actually looking for a PCD adapter 5 into 139.7 to 6 into 139.7. So is there something like maybe for the rims, I guess? Yes.
Yeah, not rims. It's basically you need a proper thick spacer, because what I think he's trying to do is go into a much popular pattern. 6 into 139.7 is such a popular pattern that you get multiple wide range of wheels. But what he is doing is he's converting his 5-bolt hub to a 6-bolt hub. That means you need a spacer with built-in studs inside. So that will be minimum of 25 to 30 mm thickness. And we don't stock those things, but those things can be machined or can be bought separately from good supplier. But you need to have forged aluminum spacers for that.
Yes. So we have more questions coming up. I mean, one or two. Can you get an app-based remote start for Prado? Example, the one from Viper. Do you have
we can install it, but we don't stock those things. Viper is there already in Dubai. It is there, so we don't install we install it, but we don't stock those kind of products. We are mainly focused into complete 4x4 recovery and upgrade options, rather than the vehicle accessories. Vehicle accessories we can install, but we don't sell those as parts ourselves.
Yes, there's another thing. Any plans of twin cylinder? We need a competition to ARB. Right now, it's either ARB or or I don't know. I don't think Camel, but yep, people have taken Camel, but I've been using it and I'm not that happy. It's works or breaks. So that's again from Jitu Thomas.
That's a really good question. I really like that question a lot. But one thing which people have to understand is they see cylinders, for example, more number of cylinders equal to more power, and which I feel is not correct, because you have to understand ARB's twin cylinder is 172 liters per minute. That's the flow rate. You have to understand flow rate is what is most important in a compressor, because flow rate is how much amount of air comes out from that nozzle in a minute. So if it says 172 liters per minute, that is in 1 minute from when you're connecting to your tire nozzle, 172 liters of volume of air is pumping out. Now ARB twin cylinder is 172 liters per minute, but Mean Mother single cylinder itself is 160 liters per minute. So when you check that output is almost similar, max to max per tire, you will have a difference of 10 to 15 seconds. But when you see price difference of, let's say, 800 dirhams versus 3,000 dirhams, that difference is kind of stupid. ARB offers 2 years warranty and we offers 5-year warranty. So rather than single versus twin, see the flow rate. For example, ARB is a smaller package compressor, so it doesn't have piston size to pump out more. That's why they use a second cylinder. But Mean
So
Mother has a much larger cylinder, so it
Jitu
has
correct, and he
more.
says that it is 350 liter per minute in twin.
No, no, that's impossible. That's Camel. That's Camel or some Chinese brand.
Yeah, Camel does have 400 LPM.
Camel has 400. Guys, my experience with Camel, I would like to share my honest opinion. Yes, it is the Chinese one. Okay, so the problem with the Camel product is that I have a lot of friends in many clubs who says that they are happy with Camel. They've been using it for 1 year, and I also have people who said I just used it for 1 month and okay, 2 camels blasted off. So that's something no that I will not put in my vehicle. Um, and Rahul, yes, he agrees with me. He says not happy with Camel product. He has the 300 whatever it is, but the problem is that's not reliable. You need something safe and reliable. That is very important. You have to take care of your safety as well as reliability, and you don't want to break your fuse all the time. You get the shortcut, and a lot of things happen to Camel products. So if you want to invest in something off-roading, invest in quality product. This is what I believe. When you say invest in quality product, the price difference of Camel on an average might be 200, 300. I don't know, but maybe in that range. You can get a TJM a normal compressor which will stay with you, which is what I have. I'm not happy with the speed of the TGM compressor that I have, but it is reliable. It is there. It will fill air. It takes 12 minutes for 4 tires, but it works. Compared to Camel, it works, and sometimes it does not work. It gets heated up, and it got blown. So I would prefer quality products anytime. And the difference is not that much. You just pay 200, 300 extra, and you have say.
I seen in your group yesterday one compressor like Sparko like that. You buy it from online. It has heated up and it stopped again and again.
That's what. So you got this online compressors. People are not aware of what it can do. So it got heated up, and then you don't know what is going to happen after that. So I would always prefer that please go with reliable compressors with warranties. And also, it's a good idea to fix it from the same company sometimes if they are giving you the warranty. Certain products belongs to certain companies. Like for Toyota, you go to Toyota. I'm not telling if you have a warranty on that. If you don't have a warranty, you definitely could do it from certain companies. As well as you can also choose reliable companies to do the services. So yes, that's it. Any more
Zabir,
questions, guys?
Yeah. I'll be asking a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
What will be the best spot for a camping in Dubai?
That's a good question. So best camping, there are many spots. It depends on what type of camping you're doing. So you are like a person who's going to mountain area, then you have the Hajar Mountains. And if you are, in Ras Al Khaimah, there's a lot of spot. Jabal Shams, if you think it is very hot here and then you need colder air. If you are looking into dunes, then probably Swayhan, Mahafiz, Tawi Nisba, I think Maliha, many more locations, interesting locations. But please comply with the terms and conditions of the authorities, whatever is there. And there are some location by the beach, which is interesting. I think there is something in Al Quwain Coast, I guess. And there is something in Shuayhat, is an interesting location, a little bit far from Dubai. And then there's something called a Shisha Beach, I guess. So there's a lot of interesting locations that you can go. And if you're traveling to Oman, there is a lot of beautiful locations that you can visit.
Do you have any camping equipments like likewise awning or anything?
That will be a good question for you guys. If you have any camping goods that you sell, because I saw in your website certain products. Could you highlight more about those items that you have?
We'd like to answer that question. So we'll start with awning.
Yeah, basically we have TJM awnings, which are very lightweight awnings. For example, if you go in desert and a little bit, let's say, afternoon areas and all, You can have a portable shade with you always in your car. It's mounted securely. It has self-standing awning. Basically, that means it has folds everything inside inbuilt, and it folds into a neat little package. And if you don't actually, for few cars you don't even need roof racks. We can mount it without roof racks for you if you know to save budget, etc. And we have two lengths, which is 2-meter awning and 2.5-meter awning. If you have a short wheelbase car, we always suggest to go with a 2-meter awning. And if you have a 4-door vehicle, we get 2.5-meter awning. So that's a good option if you need for camping. Yeah, you were asking something?
Yeah, before that, let's do the next polling. Angia, if you're there, can you push this next polling, please? Let's make it more interactive.
Okay.
Okay. I think the first person who asked me a question about recovery clubs and recovery gears. So this is very important. We need to have recovery gears for our 4x4 vehicles. So the poll is, are you equipped with basic recovery gears in your 4x4 vehicles? If yes and no. What are the recovery gears? Well, basically I will ask the Ravon Auto guys to answer that. But let's see the poll and then he will answer the basic things about what is recovery gears. Yeah. Let's wait a few more seconds.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, the poll has ended. Yes, it's a good thing that most of the people has recovery gear, but there is always a but. That is 13% don't know. I mean, don't have a recovery set, and there are 6% in this group who says I am looking for one and contact me. So those who wants and you want us to, the Ravon Auto guys to contact you, please put your name and your email ID beside it, so they will contact you, and then you can answer. And those people who are interacting in this webinar will have a special discount. So don't forget to mention your email ID, because your email ID will be connected to some offers which TJ will explain. So can you answer this question about recoveries?
Yeah, generally for starting recovery kit, we have a kit with me. I will show you. It comes in a decent bag from TJM. Just one second, they're opening. So you have a leather gloves from TJM, which is good for when you're using winches or when you're using recovery straps. That's
very important.
You always have a pure leather glove. Then as I was saying, you have metal shackles inside it. These are you get 2 shackles. That is, you need one for each end of the rope. So in a small, neat little package which you can throw in your car and pack something with no, you don't need any separate bag to carry. You have 2 shackles, and then you have a snatch strap which is 8 ton, and it is a 9-meter length snatch strap. That is, if a car is getting stuck on somewhere high in dunes, you can actually recover it from down itself, because 9-meter length is more than enough to do some kind of recovery. And all these products come with one. For example, if you tear this or if you break this, we are there for you here, and we will replace it on the manufacturer quality and give you quality assurance behind it.
Perfect. Yeah.
So let's move on to the next question.
Yes. So there are a lot of people who has given their email ID, which is here, and they've been interacting with us. Wait a minute. Can TJM awning attach to an OEM FJ roof rack? Question mark. Do you have a 270-degree question? So that's a question.
No, we don't have a 270-degree awning. We have 180-degree, which is like simple flat, it goes straight. We don't have the one which kind of goes into the back end. But it can attach to OEM roof rack. If you have a roof rack, we can attach it, no issues, because TJM comes from TJM supplied brackets, which are strong enough, and we can install it.
Perfect. Guys, if you have any more questions, we are free to answer. Let me have a look at here. Any question directing to any one of us?
So meanwhile, I'll ask a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead, because it'll be great, because it's an education purpose. we get educated. Like my old person who joined earlier, he said about different clubs and how you are going to take the clubs. We are not here, please understand this, we are not here to take people from other clubs and make this into something else. As I told you, we are not interested in we do have, but this is not our main focus. The 4x4 Gulf is only focused on helping people like you. You guys drive in any clubs. We are there to support you from the back with reviewing products. We're telling you, we are like your consultants who give you advices. Yes, we agree there are a lot of experienced people, and we would like to hear from you. I mean, those experienced people has been added in our WhatsApp group who help us. I mean, we need your help, like experienced people. We need your help to know more about certain products. So if you have, for example, used a TJM products, how's your review about it? You like it? You don't like it? We want to hear that review from you, and we share that review to all the people in our group, telling them that maybe 60% people said they like this product and this is the reason. 50% people said this is our review of how we have used the product. And we try to be very honest with our reviews, whatever we can. We try to, like I told you, like I have a TJM compressor, I'm happy with it, yes, but I have a problem of taking a long time to get it fit, because 12 minutes by the time I think my friends have already left the area before I speak to them. So that's the kind of thing that we have. So Atul Shinoy asked a question: how do you guys learn the routes through the desert? I don't think this will be directed to TJM, it will be directed to us. There are a lot of things we learn from. We joined a lot of clubs. We learn from the clubs how to drive. It's a step-by-step process, and then we can have a lot of applications that can help us. So nowadays it's easy. You have a lot of applications, like I use Wikiloc. Then I have View Ranger. Then I have there's like 5 or 6 applications. You can also have MotionX on the iPhone. So all these applications. So I have my we have pasted some routes, around 20 routes in UAE, and we would like to add more. Okay, so when I started, I've copied that in Wikiloc, and you can see that in you can see my name Samir Ali in Wikiloc. If you want, you can follow where you will be able to download the routes. And once you know the basics how to drive in the desert, maybe it might help you to find the location or exit or the next interesting point. So I have named them like Al Qudra family trip. So it's like interesting family trip, which will go through certain nice, beautiful areas. In the same way we have done in Liva and many other locations. So that might help you. I guess that will answer your question, Atul. Any other questions, guys? You're free to answer. Before that, you guys can continue educating us if you have anything. I think I have answered all the 9 questions.
So, like for off-roading, we need about 2.5 inches, and if we are going about 2.5 inch for some cars, how much cost we should be doing extra, and what are things we are adding up extra?
Yeah, that's a really good question. But in my experience, generally 2.5 inches for a car, for example, the question before asked by G, a 2.5 inches lift for a car itself is more than enough, generally speaking, because for example, let's take a FJ20, for example, its front is independent suspension. That is, it has a CB joint and it has half shocks. When you're lifting a car about 2 inches, basically what you're doing is you are using the rebound travel of the car, and then you're lifting it. And when you use the rebound travel, basically you are extending the CV joints from Toyota itself. So they're at their max limit at around 2 to 2.5 inches. That's basically what they get maxed out at. So when you are lifting above 3 inches, for example, you are saying, I want 3 to 3.5 inch lift. And you need diff drop spacers, you need sway bar lengths to adjust the original geometry back. You need upper control arms, you need proper bushes, you need proper camber adjustment, you need proper caster adjustment in back, everything. Then it becomes a complicated setup. And then many times I see people go for 3 to 3.5 inch left, but they have to come back again for alignment. A lot of times they face vibrations in daily driving. So if you have a car which is doing both, which is doing daily driving and also desert and weekends, then I will suggest maximum to go for 2.5. 2 to 2.5 for a car which is doing both on and off-road, mostly on-road and a little bit less off-road. That left is more than enough. And one more thing which I've seen in UAE is people lift their cars, but they do not put bigger tires in. So lifting your car itself does not give you higher ground clearance. It will give you a better approach and departure angle, but it won't give you ground clearance under your diff. If you need ground clearance under your diff, then you need to lift your car and then put bigger tires in. Only then your car actually gains ground clearance, good approach angle, and good departure. So 2 to 2.5 inch with a basic good shock, good spring, and good setup is more than enough. In case you have budget for it and you are focusing your car more on desert racing, or you are that experienced and advanced in that you're limited by your car rather than your driving skill, then yes, you can go for a suspension lift. And if you're going for a suspension lift, make sure you are going for spaces to widen the track or offset trims, because your center of gravity of your car, when you're lifting, it goes up and up. So if you're not widening the car itself, there's much more chance of rollover. So when you're going for a lift, make sure you go for wider offset rims or you go for spacer.
So what is the best we can give for a newbie driver from us, like a suspension upgrade? If they're planning for a suspension upgrade, what is the best we can provide?
For a newbie driver, always I would suggest is, for example, we generally have a talk of 10 to 15 minutes with the driver to understand where he's getting stuck. Because sometimes they don't understand technically what they need. All they know is say, hey, I was trying to climb this dune and I could not. And one of the group members suggested you go for a suspension. And rather than trying to upsell them into some of our products, we always talk to them to see what component of a car they are limited by. Are they limited by power? Are they limited by tires? Or are they limited by suspension? For example, if they are crashing into bumpers of front and rear a lot, then we suggest a 2-inch to 2.25-inch lift according to your cars. For example, solid axle cars, you can go to 2.5-inch no issue. Independent suspension cars, we generally keep it 2-inch, and we have variable height adjustments and springs according to, for example, are they carrying 4 passengers? Are they carrying a lot of fuel and camping gear? So we have different spring rates, and according to your need, we generally suggest them a simple basic 4 shocks, 4 strings component system, which would be much better for them for starting their driving hobby, rather than suggesting them a very expensive suspension kit. A simple one is more than enough, and it will last you, for example, let's say 1.5 years till you develop your skill set. You can use that suspension, and we provide 3-year warranty, so it's much better than OEM.
That's my next question. Like how and what all things we cover for our suspension, like warranty? Like we say it's 100,000 kilometers.
Okay.
So it is like how, like what all things we should cover. That's the need to know.
Okay. For example, in a suspension components which we provide, is we reuse OEM bushes like on top, etc. Some months we give TJM bushes. So bushes is not covered. Rest all, for example, full part of shock absorber, full springs are covered. If for example, your car was 2.5-inch or 2 inches when it left our garage, and after 1 year you are complaining that no, it dropped down the height down to 1.5 inches or something, then we give you free replacement of springs. And springs have never ever come in my experience any problems, because TJM spring are really, really good springs because they are made in Australia. Shock absorbers, yeah, a few shock absorbers leak, and when they do leak, we give them immediate free replacement. Like we completely replace the whole shock absorber itself.
We are not repairing anything. We are just replacing.
Yeah, we don't repair anything. We give you full replacement. For example, if a TJM shock absorber comes in, I don't repair it. We give you a full new strut itself, and that is much better because it matches the components much better than repairing it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So any other question related to suspension?
There's a question from Vishnu that he's asking what is the pricing for the awning. I think pricing we will not discuss publicly. I don't know if you want to say the pricing, you're free to go ahead and or if you have a pricing structure, if you have a special offer pricing, you can always share that. But it's up to you. This question is directed to you.
Now we are giving 75% discount for all off-roaders, like newbie off-roaders coming for a suspension upgrade. and then we'll divide it like that, because it's about 20% we are reducing the price for all shocks and also springs, and you're getting a 75% around discount for your suspension kit. Or for example, like FJ, we have suspension, and I'm not telling like first 10 people will come and then they'll get like an offer. This offer is open for everyone. All
Yes.
newbies come and we'll give you offers. That's the plan we have.
Yes.
And offers we can disclose, and we will share in your group, or we'll share the contact person directly, according to your convenience.
What are the offers on the compressors? Because some people are asking about it. What's your offer on the TJ mean mother compressor, the 160 per liter?
The offer is like, there is a deflator is free for you. A digital TGM deflator is free for you.
Okay.
And it is the offer price is 700 dirham inclusive VAT. That is the offer.
That's a good price. Yes. Okay. So 700 dirhams you get a TGM compressor along with the deflator. Okay.
Not TGM compressor. Mean mother compressor with
mean
TGM
mother compressor. Okay. Sorry.
Digital
Okay. Okay. That's good. And that comes with the remote control and all that options.
Yeah.
Guys, any questions? You're free to ask. We can answer you. You can also come to the mic if you want, and you can ask your questions. Anybody else wants to come to the mic, raise your hands, please. And then, or if you want to just type, you go ahead and type the questions. Okay.
Can we move on to the next question from my side?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. What is the difference between the fabricated underbody guard and everything, and with our underbody guard? Like, what is the main difference?
Okay, yeah, that's a really nice question again once more. Generally, what they hear fabricated trend, which I've seen recently, is aluminum skid plates, 8 mm or 10 mm thickness. So again, this is one of the things where I see again the bigger is better approach which people take. That is, they say the thicker the metal, the more skid plate power you get rather than bending it. But what people forget is the design plays more into the material design plays into more rather than the thickness of the metal. For example, when you fold a metal plate, for let it be 8 mm or let it be 3 mm, let it be how much mm it is. When you fold a metal plate into shape and you give it more strength, that is how you're bending it. Are you heating and bending it, or are you cold bending it? Are you forging it? How you're manufacturing it plays a more important role in strength. Because when you take a skid plate and you hit it, I've seen many aluminum plates which are always 100% bent. They take from new garage. They pay a lot of money, 1,400 or 1,200 dirhams they pay. The first drive they take it out, they get bent in the center itself. A small curve, they get it bent. Because aluminum is not an impact-resistant material. Aluminum is good to absorb the hits. It's good because it's more thickness and it's lightweight. But what TGM does, it has 3 mm metal steel skid plate. Steel is 3 times thicker than 3 times stronger than aluminum for the same thickness. That means a 3 mm steel skid plate is equal to a 9 mm aluminum, if you say theoretically correctness. But then TGM also manufactures in such a way that it has folds in the skid plate. That is, it bends in the center of the skid plate itself to give it additional strength. That is, it is a reinforced steel design. So basically, it acts almost equivalent to 12 mm aluminum skid plates, which are much more resistant to bends. So we have a smaller thickness skid plate, which gives you more ground clearance, which is lighter, which is easier to install, and it gives you more impact resistance than a 8 mm or 10 mm skid plate.
Okay, that's good. So Siddharth has a question. Maybe I need new springs for my demo car. So requesting to have the offer price. So he has written his email. He's looking for a special offer price.
Thank you.
You guys hear the question?
Yeah. We can look at which car is it. Can I know which car he's looking for?
Siddharth, can you give us an idea about what car you're speaking about? What exactly? Siddharth, can you hear us?
Unmute. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Siddharth.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Y61 Patrol, long wheelbase.
Yeah. We do have springs for the Y61. So we can send you in a WhatsApp. Alan will send you a WhatsApp regarding offer pricing. And what kind of shock absorbers do you have on that car?
Kings.
Okay, then
It's
good.
Kings shocks and Kings springs at the moment, but I'm going to add around 200 kilos in about next week. And if I need to upgrade the springs because of the added 200 kilos, then I'll contact you.
Yeah, sure. We have heavy duty springs for Y61.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Thanks, Siddharth. Any more questions, guys? And so we have a lot of offers from TJM. I would highly recommend you guys to go and visit their location, which is located in. Can you give the location details? And you go there and see yourself all the products, whatever they have on offer. Even I remember you guys had the beat grip wheel with high offset under offer. I think it's almost finished, but if you could give us more information about that.
Yeah,
Feedlots is almost finished.
Yes, Alan.
Anybody need like a feedlot, you should properly contact me because I have to check the stocks right now because we are already running it for a while. So you can contact me directly in my WhatsApp, so I can answer you.
That's fine. Any more questions, guys? Any more questions, or we will end this presentation? What do you think, guys? Any more thing from your side, Alan?
Yeah, I'd like to ask you about like, do the wheels, if you put a wheel lock, are we adding too much weight for the car? Like, is it necessary? Like, that's my question. Like,
with an offset wheel, yeah.
Yeah, we are pushing the limit of the car like that.
It's not about the limit of car, it's basically how you are using it. For example, I won't suggest beadlock wheels to a newbie because it's overkill basically. So it depends on what tires you're using and how you're using the pressure. For example, I've seen people put, let's say, 10 psi on a normal wheel, and then when you take a sudden turn and when your side slope, you come out, the wheel pops out. And popping out of a wheel, it takes a little bit of time to reset in desert, especially if you don't have any persons around, then it's very, very difficult, almost impossible. But since we go with 2 or 3 cars, it's okay. But if you are really an advanced player and you are seeing that you need to go below 6 psi or below 8 psi in almost all conditions, then a single-sided beadlock wheel is really good for you, because beadlock wheels enable you to go to as low as 5 psi on front wheels itself. So you can go 5 psi, and 5 psi is, frankly speaking, with a good tire, like the Cooper or BF Goodrich tires. It's really nice to use. And when you compare the weight, additional weight, for example, OEM weight alloy wheels are around 12 to 13 kgs for few cars. When you compare a beadlock wheel, that is basically you're adding to 3 kilos per side. That is, on overall in a car, you're adding 15 kilos. So when you consider 15 kilos versus the advantage of gaining, lower psi, for example, from 10 psi to 5 psi, you can go. That weight advantage itself will offset it, and you get a wider wheel. That is, your wheel tracks are being wider, and you are preventing rollovers basically. So I feel that trade-off between weight and what you're getting advantage is more than enough, especially since it's an advanced level and you already will have upgraded suspension components, axles, and everything. So beadlock wheel won't add too much weight compared to what you already have.
Perfect. There is a question. Double adjust suspension, the top knob and bottom knob. Would like an easy explanation to them for plus and minus as generally known.
Yeah. So this is going to be a very long answer, so stop me if I'm rambling on too much. But basically, double adjustment suspension means There are two types. One is high speed and one is low speed. And then there is one is compression and one is rebound. Basically, what we have is compression and rebound adjustment. That is, compression sits on top of the canister and the rebound sits on the bottom of the suspension. Then there are some Foxes or Kings which are high speed and low speed compression, which is on top. So I won't talk about that since that's not my product. I can talk about compression and rebound adjustment, which is what we supply. Compression is basically if you have a shock absorber like this. Compression is basically when shock goes down. Rebound is when shock extends. So the speed with which it extends, for example, when you go into a bump, this is how it goes. Very fast it goes down. So this is compression. And once we are jumping suddenly in air, the shock absorber extends. That's called rebound control. So on top, you have compression control. That is how smoothly does the wheel contract. So this compression is what generally, normal people say soft suspension or hard suspension. So on road, you have to keep low compression. That is, keep the lowest digit available. If you have 8-stage compression, then keep around 2 to 3 on the compression side. So on road, I'm not talking about desert on road. And rebound, you need to keep high on road because on road, when you're driving, your car should compress slowly. That is, it should compress much more easily rather than hurting your back. And when it's extending, it should extend with much more force. So when you're keeping on rebound high, it actually absorbs on extension rather than on compression. But on desert, it's opposite. On desert, you have to keep high compression. That is, you should not allow the wheel to hit axle very fast. But if you keep too much high rebound and compression, what happens is when you're on desert, your car actually goes lower, 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 because rebound is so set so much high that the suspension does not get time to come back up. So rebound should be low on desert and compression should be high. On road, compression should be low and rebound should be high. I hope this explains.
Yeah, that's a good explanation. I think a lot of people get educated by this. Guys, we are having launching another feedback poll. We'll be soon launching it. Can we have the feedback poll? Angia? Yeah. So feedback is, what do you think about 4x4Gulf group? Kindly share your opinion for improving our effort, multiple choices. Guys, you can criticize us. We welcome your criticism because we want to improve ourselves. If there is any way that we can improve, we are very happy to do it. And whoever wants to share us, please put your name and email, and then you say 4x4Gulf, so we know that you're addressing to us. So we will be contacting you.
I personally feel that what you are doing is really actually amazing because not many people have this open discussions with,
yes,
let it be suppliers, let it be experts, let it be whatever you call it. But many people, they keep it hidden, for commissions or whatever it is. That's their business, what they do. But this model, which I feel of open communication, being transparent with everybody, keeping everybody in group chats, and that takes a lot of confidence.
That is why I stressed in the beginning that, see, we are not looking into making commissions or anything like that. So we will not give you wrong advices. The thing is, we all are off-roaders. We have nothing to do with any garages or any other companies. So we are like free to judge, and we can give you the right advice that we can. And we learn from experienced people in our group, which is in many other clubs as well. So for this poll, we have 80%. We are very happy to get this. It's a good initiative, and 10% would like to give us some feedback. You're welcome for that. And then keep going. Thank you very much for that. That's again a positive. I would say about the highest is on they're happy with what we are doing, and there is no comments on that. So I think we can wind up this presentation. I'm very happy that a lot of people joined in. Thank you very much, guys, for joining in. In the end, I would also like to mention that there are upcoming events, webinars, which is going to be with one of the best suppliers in UAE, which is the Titan Performance. And we will be discussing with them about the dates, and we will be soon sharing with you the webinar details. We are also looking at doing a lot of webinars with other trusted service providers, Like I can mention some of the names, which I know some of them I might forget, but we will soon uh, uh, put all the details in our website. So some of the other garages that I can mention is Best Line. Then we also have Marshall Auto Care. Then you also have the Pawan Motors, and there are a lot. I can't remember. I'm sorry. There's a lot of trusted clubs and trusted garages which you can go. And the clubs, there are so many clubs, so many nice clubs that I don't remember the names. Mentioning like Adventure Tribe, Desert Nation, uh, uh, Dubai Offroaders, 4x4, Emirates, and a lot of nice clubs that you can also join, which will help you to guide as a newbie to be better in driving. So that's it from my end, and we look forward to see you guys again for the next session. Anything ending message that you would like to give from Ravon Auto? Someone has asked to you to share the location. If you could also speak about your locations, your office timings, all that details will be welcome. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we would like to thank for this opportunity. It was really nice to meet your group, to meet your people, and we'll see the questions come up. It was really nice. Good questions were asked, and I hope we explained too much of your request. And again, we would like to take any comments, and you're always welcome to our shop to even discuss questions. We are not only sales oriented; we are also oriented like how you can ask them, you can discuss your questions, your problems, and we would like to solve it. And we do garages also, so we have maintenance, we have your annual services, everything. So yeah, please do welcome, and Alan will share the locations and all the details.
Yes, and so we are winding up, guys. Thank you very much once again, and we'll see you next time. Until then, peace out. Thank you.
Bye bye. Bye bye.